Good evening, everyone. It is 7:37 Eastern Standard Time on Friday, August something, I'm not sure still. Just gonna check in for a few. I was thinking of a topic to try and discuss, and the one that kept reoccurring, but I think if you're really serious about this, it might be important right now to say some things that I found later looking back to have been red flags. You're gonna feel certain ways. Don't worry about it. It'll pass. Anyway, so I think the topic that I want to try and do right now is going to be triggers, trust, betrayal, and predators. So triggers, okay, not sure if you're familiar with them or not, but as you get sober, certain things, certain places, certain people, smells, objects, I mean, you name it, it could be a trigger. For instance, I have a straw trigger. You say, what? To drink Mountain Dew from a straw? No. Most people see straw for what it is. Others see it as a hazardous environment filled with plastics and CFCs or whatever other environmental terms you want to throw at it that wind up in sea turtles' nose. And in California, they've banned them, and now they're paper. So they've got a lot of rap lately for not being the greatest things in the world. The one that's not spoke of, though, is a tool for inhalation usage of narcotics, cocaine, methamphetamines, amphetamines, ketamine, I mean, all the means, all the sets, opiates, you name it. Anyway, I can't keep a straw in the car for multiple reasons. One day I got pulled over as well. Somebody had one that was cut and left underneath the seat, and the police officer found it and nearly charged me with what do you call it? Paraphernalia. There we go. And found an ibuprofen and swore up and down that I was using the straw to inhale ibuprofen. Long story short, I just sat and talked shit. Anyway, so one day I went to the local Suboxone methadone clinic, went through the whole long screening process and urinalysis and, you know, terms, and I mean, it was a full day and experience. And when you go in there, you know, it's had to have been 12 hours since you've last dosed or taken anything. So by that time, you know, like, my situation wasn't so bad, but you're definitely feeling it, right? And I mean, others worse off, but if you get that far into it, just stick it out. Like, relief is on the way. I mean, I see it as a masking thing, but I use it as a tool, just as a short-term passage to get over the hump of the withdrawal feeling, where I knew, like, I wouldn't be on so high of a dose that it was going to cause me to withdraw from that if I didn't take it. But that's definitely what I didn't want. I don't want to switch one for another. But there are people that have to have long-term opioid preventative usage, use maintenance, or however the terminology is based today. And that's okay. I mean, I know many people that's what they do now, and you wouldn't know it, but they have gone on to lead successful lives. They're CNAs, they are RNs, they are, I mean, CEOs. You wouldn't know it. Like, everybody fights. Everybody's, again, suffers in silence. And then, you know, it's something that people don't want others to know about them, or because they feel like they're going to be shamed. But, you know, that's the part we have to try and get over. Because every story that's heard is heard by one, and one could turn to many, and many could live, and, you know. Gosh. Okay. So triggers. Another trigger I have is cash. Like, I survive off cash. I have for a long time, engaging in illicit activities with narcotics or whatever the case is, and, you know, whatever, means to an end, survival. I'll get to all that later. Pretty sure statute of limitations and shit, so I have to abide by that. But anyway, money is a trigger. Like, everybody stays sober when they're broke. That's an observation that I've seen. I've done it, you know, like, it's a convenience sober. Like, everybody's, oh yeah, blah, blah, blah. They're pretending in their people's face, like, yeah, I'm ready to do this. I've been clean now for a week. Reality check. It's only been like 24 hours. Okay, but then the short-term facades that we'll put on are, you know, this grandiose talk of, I want to do this, I want to do that. You know, in your addiction or whatever the case is, by any means necessary. It's just how it is. But when I ever went to anybody and told them like I wanted help, I was dead ass serious. And unfortunately, I was not able to get the help that I needed from people I thought would have been there for me. It was the complete opposite. And you know, whatever, like, I have done it, I'm doing it, I'm trying, and that's what counts. So back to the Suboxone clinic thing. So I went through this whole process. It is painstakingly tedious. I mean, you have to pretty much present a whole monologue of your usage of drugs, yada yada yada. Yeah, I pretty much wrote an encyclopedia. But you know, when I was sitting in the office with my counselor that was running the assessment questions and such, she's like, "Do you want something to drink?" And I was like, "Yes, please, please, please." Like, I've been sitting there for a minute, parched. And she brings me in a Mountain Dew, and I open it up, take a drink, and she was like, don't drink like that. And I'm like, okay, why? She was like, because I watched this show, basically it was saying that nasty germs, organisms, and rat shit are on the tops of cans from the warehouse, whatever. And she says she took a sample from a Coca-Cola can while she was in chemistry in college, and put it underneath the microscope, and like was just disgusted. So since then she said she would not raw dog any drink, is her exact words. So she handed me a straw, and I was like, alright, cool. So I took the straw, like, and of course, like, I'm sitting there thinking, like, oh, I haven't taken the Suboxone yet, so I know I could still feel something, and, you know, like, we're not done with this yet, so I'm not accountable for being here, or any of that, right? Whatever. But I stuck it out, went through, and at the end of it, I was walking out, and I said, "Hey, Miss Counselor." She's like, "Yeah, like, just want to let you know, like, that straw could have been a trigger to somebody." And she was like, "Oh my God, I never even thought of that." And I was like, she's like, "I'm so sorry." It's like, no big deal. I just kind of want to help you to be aware of, like, you know, the situation, the people you're dealing with have issues, they have needs, and certain things could, you know, make them make the wrong decision. So triggers, learn what yours are. As you go on, you'll realize that talking to your mom might be a trigger, or you're having to go to a family gathering could be a trigger, you know, and if so, don't go. Or, you know, figure out a way to deal with that. Otherwise, I mean, there's tons of ways. That's what I was going to say too. If it gets so bad and, like, withdrawal is just unbearable, or you're having that bad day and, like, you're already sober and you want to use, like, maybe not, don't, right? But, like, Kratom works. I'm telling you, this Kratom works. I used to get these little Kratom shots. It was like 5 hour energies. And whenever I started feeling bad, and I don't want to take a Suboxone, I go get one of those, I take it to the face. Not the greatest thing in the world, but it's not a drug. So, whatever. It's an idea. It's so hot, man. let's see. So yeah, that triggers. Trust. You have to trust yourself. You need to trust yourself. If you feel like you don't want to go anywhere on, you know, any particular day, don't. Trust your instinct. Listen to yourself. Your body's not going to lie to you. In fact, you've been so out of tune with it that as your, you know, brain starts to readjust to its natural state, more or less, because it will never actually be natural again. But as time goes on and the residuals of the drugs get out of your system, you'll start feeling normal. And also, I am a very emotional person, an empath, and I said last night on one of the other videos, dude, you're gonna have a flood of emotions at some point in time, and if you're a person that doesn't show emotion or whatever the case is, like, I applaud you if you can get through it. And if so, you probably, you know, deserve an Oscar, Grammy, or some other type of, you know, cinematic, dramatized award, because I couldn't do it. And what it is, I realize, is that we have suppressed so much real world responsibilities. We've neglected a lot of people that cared about us, or, you know, these sort of things will all come up. And I mean, like, you won't have realized all the things that you will regret's not a good word, all the things you will feel real bad about. And as time goes on, as part of the 12-step program, if you're going through that, you know, you have to try and end the relationships if possible, and say that you are sorry. And it's not necessarily for that person, unless they wish to accept it, and hopefully they do, but it's more for your own forgiveness, your own mental well-being, your own ability to move forward with your life. So if you can change any of those without hurting anybody or ruining anybody's life or putting anybody in danger, I think that's how it goes, then do it. You know, it will help you feel better. If you choose not to, well, you know, so be it. But hopefully your past isn't ahead of you. Trust, though. Trust. But don't trust everybody that you start meeting either, because sobriety is like solitary confinement, and there's solace in this being alone, and it's safe, and it's needed. So you need time to just deal with whatever comes along. You might cry, you might be happy, you might put on music, you dance, you yell, you scream, you might go take 10-minute freaking swing session at the bag. I mean, I don't know. But take that time and, like, listen to yourself and figure out a game plan, and, like, so much is going to happen. You're going to feel great. And, like, some days you're not going to feel so great, but you still have to get up, show out. But trust. Be mindful of your trust. Do not give it out, because we've already given it out to a lot of people that we thought we could trust, and they have not done anything worth fuck for us. Okay? Not worth fuck. What was the other one? What did I say? Sorry, it's been a long day. What did I say? Cut.